Let's get back to the 49ers and the big game against the Bucs coming up this weekend, and really excited to bring on former Bucs quarterback, Vikings as well, been around the league, and a name that's well known, and that's Brad Johnson. Hey, Brad, welcome to the show. You're on with Willard and Dibs on 95.7 The Game. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Appreciate you guys reaching out.
Yeah, absolutely. No, fun to have you on, and I wonder if you even know, like, over the last 5 years, do you know how often your name comes up when we're making comparisons to Jimmy Garoppolo and sort of his career? Are you even aware of that?
No, I don't have a tracker on that. So I think when you play as long as I've played, 17 years, I've been there's all kinds of stats or comparisons with a lot of different people. But honestly, I've enjoyed, I enjoy watching quarterbacks and how their career, whether they're a first-round pick or whether they're free agent kind of guys, and see how they, how does your journey happen? How did you get through your college deal? How did you get through your pros? And what's your story? And obviously, with Garoppolo coming from Eastern Washington and then, picked to New England and having to deal with fighting for time and getting traded to San Fran, being there for 6 years and going to a Super Bowl and championship game and ups and downs of a career. Like, it's crazy. So I'm excited for all quarterbacks. Obviously now Brock Purdy's getting ready to play, but it's fun to keep up with just the league itself.
Do you feel a certain amount of disrespect, though, when your name is thrown out as sort of these one-hit wonders or even almost fluky quarterbacks who the team kind of won in spite of?
Well, it's funny. I got a record better than a lot of some of those guys who made Hall of Fame. Took three teams to the playoffs, set a record for throwing over 60% for 13 straight years, won a Super Bowl, had 27 come from behind victories, those kind of things. And so it's really about how your story is sold, to be honest with you, and, those kind of things. And there's only 35 guys that have ever won a Super Bowl. 31 are still living. And to be the 9th-round draft pick to do it, to overcome everything I did, I think it's a story that needs it's almost a movie itself.
Yeah, 9th-round draft pick. People look at you now, they're like, what the hell is that? I don't even know what does that mean, 9th-round draft pick?
Yeah, it really is. And at that time, there was 12 rounds that were in the draft. And then when you look at it, those guys that won the Super Bowls, I'd say about 80% of those guys were first-round picks. And then, guys later that did it was, Kurt Warner did it as a free agent. Tom Brady did it as a 6th-round pick. I did it as a 9th-round pick. And then you better get on up to the 2nd round for the guys that have won it. So it's a unique story, but to play in that league, it's about opportunity and then coming through when your opportunity comes, when you get that chance.
I think you referenced something that leads to why your name comes up here in the Bay Area with regard to Jimmy Garoppolo so much. Your career record as a quarterback starter is 72-53. And we hear this a lot. Jimmy Garoppolo's, I think, is 42-19. And so there's the comparison. You've won consistently, but people look at it and still it doesn't look like a Mahomes or an Allen. When you see people talk about Jimmy Garoppolo that way and say, Niners win not because of him, but in spite of him, he's a game manager, yet every time he's healthy, they go on winning streaks. What's your reaction to that?
No doubt about it. And honestly, if you ask Peyton Manning, you ask Tom Brady, you ask Drew Brees, a game manager, honestly, is one of the highest compliments you could ever have. If you're playing tennis, you better hit that first serve in. If you're playing golf, you better hit that ball down the fairway. There's got to be some kind of management. And the number one trait as far as losing, winning games, say what you want to say with stats, is turnovers. So when I look at Troy Aikman's career, like, he had an unbelievable career, winning 3 Super Bowls, and he had a great offense, great defense, but every week he was going to throw 1 or 2 touchdowns, but he wasn't going to throw that crucial pick. And it's incredible. Like, and to be able to win games, and you run the plays that the coach calls, and so, Troy probably didn't get a lot of touchdowns because Emmitt Smith got a lot of those easier touchdowns in the red zone, and so with Garoppolo doing what he's doing, he's winning ball games. Like, what are you complaining about? Like, let's be excited about it. Like, we got a winning quarterback. We got someone that gives us a chance week in and week out. He did take us to a Super Bowl. He did take us to the NFC Championship game. So, like, it's hard to make the playoffs. It's hard to get to that next level. So, I commend Garoppolo, obviously he didn't get any reps in training camp, and then coming off the street like he did, and then to have the year that he has, to be where they are, I wish the guy would get more respect for sure.
Super Bowl champ Brad Johnson here on 95.7 The Game. You mentioned Brock Purdy before. What is the difficulty level of the task he now has of going from QB3 to the backup to now being asked to start for a team with realistic Super Bowl aspirations?
Well, you got to be thrown into the fire at some point. And someone in his situation, I always say it's better to be prepared and not have an opportunity than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. And so with that being said, like Brock, he probably didn't get many reps in training camp and he only got scout team reps the whole season. And so for a kid like that, a 7th-round pick, Mr. Irrelevant, you got to go back to his college career. He threw over 1,500 passes in college. So he's used to starting, he's used to playing, he's used to being in that, close, tough games, those kind of situations. Right now the team's 8-4. You have a great play caller in Kyle Shanahan, a great QB coach, and Brian Greasy, a great supporting cast with your team. So he's got to go out there and just, honestly manage the game, make the plays when they're there, and give yourself a chance to win. So I'm excited for Brock, tough competitor, and obviously getting his first start against the great Tom Brady. It's going to be pretty cool for him, I'm sure.
Yeah, Brad, I mean, you talk about the experience he had in college, and many do that, and now we've got this quick glimpse of him in an NFL game, and it actually looked pretty solid. But, you didn't start a game in the NFL till you were 28. He's 22. What's the difference for him in terms of, getting thrown into a game against Miami, but now you're the starter? What else comes with that for him?
The grind. You're the guy everyone is looking at. You're the one that runs the walkthroughs. All the plays come through you in the meetings. They're finally talking to you, and they're not talking to the other two quarterbacks that are starting in front of you. You're the one that has to handle the microphone after the game, and you're the hero, the GOAT that comes with it. But I do think kids are actually prepared more now. They're doing 7-on-7 in middle schools. They're having check with me's in high school. We talked about the 1,500 throws in the 4 years they started at Iowa State. So he has a lot of practice time. He's game ready from that standpoint. And then you just got to be, you got to get your chance to actually play at the NFL level. Obviously he won last week, but he's getting ready to go through a great stretch here. I mean, they're getting ready. I mean, you got the Bucs this weekend. You got a chance to win it at home. You get Seattle, you get Washington, you get the Raiders, you get Cardinals. Like, you got a chance to make a run at it here, and it's hard to get that opportunity. I know he'll be ready, though. We've got great forecasts with the coaches and players.
How important is it in terms of system and fit for Brock Purdy? When you won the Super Bowl in 2002, you had John Gruden, great defense like the Niners do this year, great offensive system, talent around you. How important will that be for Brock Purdy as he tries to make a Brad Johnsonian type of run?
Well, you're not going to win a Super Bowl if you don't have guys on that team that can potentially make Hall of Fame, and guys that are going to make the Pro Bowl, and great coaches, great assistants that later will become head coaches in this league. And that's what John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have built there with the 49ers. A great team that has proven over the last 3 or 4 years, especially. They've built the organization up, and so he has a great supporting cast. He's in an offense. It's just fun to play with. All the shifts, the motions, the play action game. That'll fit Brock perfect, and he just got to make the read, make the throw, make the play.
Brad, I guess Kyle Shanahan was on your staff in 2004 in Tampa. Quality control. Do you even remember Kyle Shanahan?
I do. Kyle was the water boy. He was the make the copies for Coach Gruden. He was the light switch guy, turn it on and off, and get the projector working. He was that guy, but he was also you call the 20 for 20. He was 20 years old, working 20-hour days, and he was sleeping at the facility, 5.5 days a week. He loved football, and you knew he was going to be great. Our receivers at that time were Keyshawn Johnson and Keenan McCardell and Joe Jaravicius, and Kyle was respected by everyone. Like, if they had a question, they were not afraid to ask Kyle. I was not afraid to ask Kyle. You knew greatness was written all over his forehead, and he's proven it over time. He's been at different teams. He's won with different quarterbacks, and that's the greatness of him. He's able to adjust with any kind of quarterback and his system. A lot of coaches, they run their system. They're not able to adjust it to the types of players that they have or the quarterback, and just being and being kind of one with them, and being able to not just teach one, but he's able to teach the whole room of quarterbacks that he has. So it's pretty unique trait that he has.
Brad, that's a high compliment, but is it possible that we're paying too many people if there's a light switch guy? Did you really need to hire a light switch guy?
Well, he was that guy. You got to earn your keep, earn your way. Gruden made it tough on him, and then he kind of beat Gruden a couple of times when he became head coach too. But you knew the work ethic that he had. Obviously, his dad. He grew up, watching John Elway and talking about Super Bowls and winning them. And he was a player in college, but he knew he was always going to be a coach. So it's kind of fun to watch him, the evolution of him.
Where have you found more success, Brad, as an NFL quarterback or as a TikTok influencer?
I have had fun on TikTok. It's Big Bad Brad 14. I made all kinds of trick shots with football and basketball. I had my time playing in the league. And now I've been coaching high school football, coaching my kids. I got 2 boys that play at Texas A&M, and the TikToks, all the trick shots, I've had fun doing it, and hopefully everyone enjoys it. And mine's real. I don't do any editing or anything fake.
Yeah, I'm looking at the basketball 30-second challenge, how many you can make, and he's up there just trying to score a little layup after layup with a big smile on his face.
Brad, you're doing what quarterbacks are supposed to do after their 45th birthday. What the hell is Tom Brady? Will you tell Brady to just graduate to TikTok already, please?
No doubt. He's got all the followers, but I have more fun doing mine because I don't edit. I don't have a company that does it. It's me, a tripod, and I got a little sweat on my forehead trying to get it all done. But it's fun doing what I'm doing.
You need to have more fun, Brad. I'm looking at your videos right now as he's trying to throw footballs into a basketball hoop from about 70 feet. And the grin, ear to ear, you might be breaking the camera. You're smiling so big.
Hey, everyone asks me, how long does it take to do that stuff? I tell them, listen, it takes a lifetime of practice. It takes what it takes. And sometimes it's first time, first take. But I've had fun doing it, man. So hopefully everyone enjoys all my stuff I put out there.
Brad, a ton of fun to have you on, man.
I can't get enough of your feet right now.
Absolutely great.
It's incredible.
It's often imitated, never duplicated. You'll see that in all the TikToks, all the stuff out there. It's like it is wild, some of the stuff I did on there. So
Big Bad Brad 14. I'm officially a follower.
Game manager, my rear end. You're elite, Brad. Yeah. Don't let anyone tell you different.
Yeah, hey, if you ain't got a ring, you ain't got nothing. So I got Super Bowl in my bag too. So tell everyone enjoy that.
Brad, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was a ton of fun.
Appreciate it, guys.